Joining me now is celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, let's start with Meghan Markle. She's been snapped sporting a massive diamond ring, which experts say is likely in the 6 to 7 carat range, woo, and worth around 250,000 US. Kinsey, this comes amid claims Meghan never liked the engagement ring that Harry gave her.
I mean, is this woman ever happy and content? She tells us she's in pursuit of joy. Does that just mean a bigger rock? This story taps into the long-running narrative around Meghan Markle and the engagement ring from Prince Harry. Remember, Harry designed that ring himself using diamonds from Princess Diana's collection. So symbolically, it was always very sentimental. Meghan has modified it multiple times, resetting the band and altering the design, which sparked conversation that she was very hard to please. So with her now wearing an even bigger rock, it appears that she's not honoring that original piece. Visually, I think this feeds into the ongoing criticism that the Sussex brand leads heavily into, Hollywood luxury and what's trending rather than tradition.
Now, US Health Secretary RFK Jr. and singer-songwriter Kid Rock have appeared together in a topless video promoting what's been dubbed the Rock Out Workout, which includes hitting the gym, soaking in the sauna and taking cold plunges and more. Have a look.
Where's Kid?
All the crackheads, the critics, the cynics, and all my heroes at the methadone clinic. Was RFK taking a cold plunge in his jeans there? And were they working out in the sauna? I mean, I've got a lot of questions about this clip.
I mean, yes. I can't justify the never nude, is what they called that on the show Arrested Development. There was one guy that was always in denim. That's a never nude, I guess.
Yes.
But RFK, his entire political identity has been built around personal wellness, physical resilience. This is on brand. He's visibly demonstrating that this is what is important to him. And this is why we should listen to what he has to say, whether people love it or hate it. Politically, it's effective because voters respond to authenticity and energy. I mean, the man is running in jeans in a pool. And yeah, I do think compared to other Washington leadership, the fact that the health secretary is visibly healthy is exactly the point that the public recognizing.
Having a health secretary that actually looks healthy, I think, it's something new we're trying, but I like it. Now, let's talk about our own Nicole Kidman. She may have a new man in her life, and Keith Urban is said to be fuming about it. It appears Nicole has caught the attention of MGM Resorts chairman Paul Salem, who has expressed interest in dating the star, and a source close to Urban has said that Keith is raging at the idea of Nicole being linked to anyone so quickly, and the fact that he is an older, distinguished multimillionaire is only fueling that anger and jealousy at the prospect of them getting together. Kinsey, he's got absolutely no right to be feeling any which way, because didn't he couple up with some younger woman almost immediately, allegedly?
Allegedly, that's what the rumors are. I mean, the way this marriage reportedly ended doesn't sound like it was in a great place for a while. So it wouldn't shock me if Keith has some regrets down the line. When you split from someone like Nicole Kidman, you're not just leaving a spouse, you're leaving one of the most respected and powerful women in the industry. And if Nicole ends up with someone hugely successful or influential, suddenly the optics change fast. And what might have felt like freedom for this guy starts looking like a major miscalculation.
Yes, we could be looking at a new Hollywood power couple if this romance blossoms. Now, let's talk about a bombshell study from All Sides revealing that Apple News' editorial team has been deliberately excluding conservative media outlets from the popular app's hand-picked top stories. Kinsey, this has been obvious. The data on this is astonishing. What else can you tell me?
Yeah, I mean, critics saying Apple News excludes conservative outlets. It's not a new complaint, as you said, but the significance here is the study from all sides attempting to quantify it. The real power
Mm,
issue is distribution. When a default news app on millions of phones elevates only certain outlets and sidelines others, that
yeah.
shapes national coverage. And that's a big responsibility. So the debate isn't just bias, it's platform influence and who effectively controls the front page of digital information for everyday Americans. Apple should be held accountable for stirring the pot when they do.
Well, absolutely, because so many people now get their news from their device. They get it from social media as well, but they are often getting their news from their Apple phone. And if it's curated to be featuring only leftist publications, then you get a very warped view of the world, Kinsey.
And it can be dangerous if you are seeing that ICE did this to a certain individual and then you
Mm.
don't have the other outlet's perspective. You might jump in your car and run and go fight a protest when you haven't seen the whole side of the story. And now you're just increasing the rage, increasing the controversy, and increasing your own personal like danger. And you could be jeopardizing other people's safety as well. So I do think that it's something we should seriously have a conversation about. Why is this allowed?
Now, the billionaire founder of the Victoria's Secret Empire is being deposed as part of a congressional investigation into the Epstein files. Les Wexner was questioned about his long-term relationship with Epstein, who served as his personal financial advisor from the late 1980s until at least 2007. Wexner's name appears more than 4,000 times in the documents released by the Department of Justice. He told the panel he was conned by Epstein, that Epstein lived a double life and that he regretted ever knowing the, and I quote, clever, diabolical master manipulator. Kinsey, is that enough? Are people scrutinising this relationship a little bit more these days?
I mean, let's just be honest. No one's having a harder time than Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. I think people were done with
Yes.
Wexler a long time ago. There's just been something. The entire brand has been tainted by his previous association. But you know what I can say is that the Clintons are at least mentioned in the Epstein files 3,000 less times. So that's something for Hillary to celebrate, as she's denying any association whatsoever on television.
Yes, I saw her being interviewed by the BBC, and she said there are no links between her and Bill and Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, except for the fact that Ghislaine was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding and all those plane rides that Bill took on the Lolita Express, and
What's the
Ghislaine
pool
being
photo?
honoured by the Clinton Foundation. I mean, the list is long, but apparently nothing to see there.
Yeah.
Before you go, Forbes has reported that Disney netted 170 million US dollars on its 2025 live-action Snow White remake starring Rachel Ziegler, she's a favourite of ours. The film has failed to make back that 336 million the company spent making it. Kinsey, we've spoken about this plenty of times. Has Disney finally learnt its lesson, or are we going to keep seeing these lefty projects that nobody wants to watch?
I think that they've finally learned their lesson, but I also don't think it's just Disney. I think Rachel Zegler hopefully has learned her lesson. I'm not saying her get much work lately either. When you go on these political tirades, whether it be on talk shows, interviews, or Twitter, and you have hot takes, you are going to alienate 50% of the country. And people told her, they expressed that through ticket sales. They said, you know, we're not going to put up with you. We're not going to reward you for for being ugly about us. So I think Rachel Zegler hopefully learned her lesson here as well.
But will she be impacted? Because we've seen actresses and actors do this over the years. They come out with these hard left positions, very outspoken about it, and it may alienate half the population, sometimes more, but they keep getting the roles because everyone in Hollywood agrees with them.
But Rachel's not. I mean, I think that people were so appalled by her behavior because remember, Disney asked her to tone it down and she did the opposite. She
True.
got on Twitter and started going off. And I think that the industry realized she's hard to control. She doesn't listen. She is a liability. And we haven't seen her work.
Yeah,
She
and
ran off to London to do the stage and we haven't seen her work in Hollywood since.
well, she is kind of uniquely unlikable. I think that adds to that. And I think they're punishing her for not listening. Disney told her to pull her head in and she didn't. I think that's what the punishment is rather than her bizarre opinions. Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time tonight.